Hey guys, what's up? Spring is just around the corner and I don't know about you guys, but I love spring cleaning and I think it translates to my plants as well because I do have a few plants over here that are ready to go find their new homes. Let's start with this one. This one is my Hoya carrii. Now, if you guys remember, I think it was during the summertime, I had actually repotted my one Hoya carrii plant, and it turned out that there was actually 3 vines in it, and I was like, oh my god, what is happening? Well, this, did you see that? Okay, maybe this isn't ready to find its new home. Anyways, I'm still gonna repot this. I can't believe that just fell off. Actually, I think this is from the original leaf. Yeah, this was the original leaf that belonged to this vine. Not gonna lie, this leaf falling just made me feel some kind of way, and I feel like I'm having a moment and I'm gonna try to recollect myself so I can carry on filming because we just started. Anyways, what I was trying to say was this vine, this cutting, was a part of the mother plant that I had repotted during the summer. So it's grown quite a bit. You can see like the roots are very well developed. They are water roots, so when I repot this, I'm actually gonna put a lot of water because it's gonna go through like a transition period from water roots to soil roots. I could use ponds, but because the roots are so fine, I don't want to damage them. And there has been a lot of growth. So I don't know if you can see this, but we have a leaf right here and 2 leaves over here. And this looks like a peduncle that kind of wants to flower for me. But yeah, it definitely looks like a very legit peduncle. And down over here is another peduncle too, so it could potentially flower here as well. So I will repot this, and the tip, actually, you're probably not going to be able to see it, but the tip has like a really nice growth point as well. I'm not going to say that when I repot it, it's going to take very well, but what I will say is that once it starts to put off more leaves, it's going to do very well. Okay, so here it is all potted up. It is in my regular soil mixture, so it's peat moss, tree fern fiber, perlite, bark, charcoal. Hopefully it does well, and like I said, I am going to actually take it upstairs and probably give it some TLC. And what I mean by that is I'm going to put it in the cabinet so it bumps up the humidity, and I'm going to put it in this container over here because it'll fit, and actually fill it up with quite a bit of water because like I had said, this plant was in water, so it's rooting in water, it's used to water, so I want to have the environment still wet while it goes through that transition period. So I'll go ahead and deal with that later. And while I am here, I guess I can talk about this one. This is one of my Monstera Albo cuttings. This has grown quite a bit, and it's actually putting off a new leaf right here. So I am going to repot this and give it a new home. And it was residing in this little cup right here for probably a year, so it's definitely time to upsize, and I think it'll start producing bigger leaves. The aerial roots, I don't know what's going on with it. It has a life of its own. This was actually, it looks like it used to be a nub, like a little chunk, and now it's becoming a full-on plant. So I'm curious to see how this is gonna look. I think I have to cut this out of the pot. Yeah, I do. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and just cut it out of here and show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so here she is all potted up. I tried to bury the aerial roots as best as I can. So, can't wait for this one to find its new home. I actually cannot wait for this new leaf to unfurl because I want to see the marbling it's gonna give off, but I feel like if I if I wait, I'm not gonna want to let it go. I don't know, maybe I should just quickly go ahead and post it right after I film this video. Okay, so the next plant, like I said, another Monstera. This one has grown quite a bit. This one has more sectorial variegation, as you can see. And I think I had made a prediction in the past that this plant would give me a funny pattern where it's sectorial like this, and then it gives me a marbled leaf, and then it's another sectorial. There was another leaf that was here and it was marbled, but I accidentally clipped it off, so I can't show you what that looks like. But yeah, this is the newest leaf that it has put off, and I don't know, I feel like I want to keep this one. I shouldn't be like this, I really shouldn't, but I don't know. I have a really hard time with Monstera Albos because they're just so cute. No problem. This is why I have 3. Actually I have 4. I have another one over there that I can't seem to part ways with, even though it looks like it's not going to make it. I will bring it down and show you guys, but I feel like it's time for me to let that one go for real. Anyways, let's see how the roots on this guy looks. Oh, maybe I am going to be keeping this for a little bit. This does not look great. Where's the roots? How have you put off a new leaf like this? I don't understand. Okay, so maybe the reason why none of these guys have put off any development was because there was rot. Okay, I'm glad I'm filming this video. Maybe this will be ready in the next 3-4 weeks. All right, so this is what we're working with here. I'm probably gonna have to take this over to the sink just to give it a good rinse, because I want to see how the roots actually look, because it feels smushy. So this part right here, I can see like this was a good root. This is a healthy root that just snapped off. So I'm throwing this out. Yeah, I'm gonna take this over to the sink and give it a rinse, because you can see there's some root rot here, and I'm probably gonna treat it with some HydroGuard and then plant this up. So I'll go ahead and do that now, and yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so here is the status of the roots. So you can see it definitely suffers some root rot, which, you know what, I'm quite impressed by the fact that it even put off this leaf right here, because usually when the plant is really suffering from root rot, it'll just start deteriorating, and you know, you'd have dropped leaves, you don't get growth, that's for sure. So maybe I am gonna be able to keep this in my care for a little bit longer. Anyways, I initially was gonna put this in a larger pot, but I think what I'll do is keep it in a smaller container like this, and I'm probably gonna have to repot this in the next 2 months is what I'm gonna assume, because I want it to kind of stop rotting and reestablish itself. And I'm hoping that by then this aerial root right here will grow a little bit longer, and then when I go to repot it, I can just shove it into here, and then it has, you know, more support, more plant support. So I'm gonna go ahead and pot this up off camera, and again, I will show you guys what it looks like when I'm done. So here she is, all potted up, and I just realized all the leaves are pointing in the weirdest direction. I don't know what's up with that, but hopefully it fixed itself. And I have 2 more plants to show you guys. Honestly, at this point, I feel like I'm gonna be rehabbing a few plants before I'm able to sell them. Okay, so this is my other elbow. She's put off so many green leaves for me, like what the heck? What is this? This is actually the newest leaf that it's put off for me. Very green, and also very green. I don't know what the deal is. There's 1 speck of variegation on this. I don't think I'm gonna get any variegation on this at all. I feel like I actually need to cut it down. I do see some marbling here, but it's very faint. So I think what I'll do is actually, I'm gonna give it another chance and see what happens. I think what I'm gonna do is first check to see the roots, see how it's doing. If it's doing fine, I'm just gonna put it back where I found it. And I'm gonna wait to see this next new leaf. If this next new leaf is just as green, I'm gonna cut it. So we're gonna have a sequel to today's video. So let's see what we're working with today. Oh, okay. Oops, spook ripsy poo. Sorry, honey. Okay, this is very well rooted. I think it needs a bigger pot for sure. The roots look legit. Lots of algae, but the roots look good. I'm not gonna disturb it any more than it already has been disturbed. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and pot this up into a bigger container because it definitely needs it. It's very root bound. And I think what I'm actually going to do is plant this into the new pot as well, because my prediction is that the next leaf is going to be green and I'm gonna wanna give it a cut. And it's easier to give it a cut and plant it right away if I have this going. This kind of planted itself into another plant. So unnecessary. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and repot this and then report back to you. Okay, so I'm back and this is what it looks like. The roots are still intact, looks pretty legit. So you can see this was the node or the chunk that it grew out of, and it's time for me to just kind of do one of these. Probably should flip my scissors over, but it's fine. And that's what it looks like. This has served its purpose and I can now throw it away. And I'm a little bit scared now because the root ball isn't very much here. I don't know if I can fully upsize it from the pot that it was originally in. Maybe, I think I can put it in here. Yeah, it can go in here. The bottom leaf is yellowing, so let's just throw that away too. So this is how I'm gonna plant it. So I'll go ahead and do that off camera and just show you the final product because you don't really need to see me repotting this. Okay, so here it is, all potted up, and like I had said, I had taken the aerial root that was already doing its own thing and I shoved it into here. And this aerial root right here, I'm gonna clip it back and then just stick it in the soil. That way, when I decide to give it a cut, because I'm pretty certain that this plant needs to be reset for variegation, I won't have to stress about rooting it or anything like that. I'll just get the process started. So I'll go ahead and do that. The only thing is, I do find that when the plant is, how do I say this? I have a fear that because I'm going to be putting this into the soil and getting it to root this aerial root, I'm scared that it's actually going to slow down the process of the plant to continue to grow. We'll see. I'm going to give it 2 months before I give it a cut. So I'll see you back in 2 months in regards to this plant. The last plant that I have here, and honestly, don't get me wrong, it's a pretty plant and it did bring me joy at one point, but now it's just a no. It is this string of hearts. Now, she's looking great, head full of hair. I have some different hues because the sun is hitting it. When you have string of hearts, the whites of the little succulent leaves will turn pink or fuchsia color, as you can see. Now, in my previous video, I think I did like several months ago, maybe even last year, I had talked about these weird looking orbs. So you can see one right here. These little orbs. And these are an indication that your plant is very happy and it's thriving. But my thing is, you are messy. You love life way too much because I have to constantly cut this down, and the more that I cut, the smaller the leaves are. So then it's just looking straggly. I swear this probably needs to be cut. Like it just needs a new home. I don't even want to deal with it anymore. It's like the same way as to how I feel about Hoyas when they start to bloom. It's nice that it's blooming, but honestly, it's so messy and it just gets everywhere. And this thing flowers all the time. I kid you not, when I had taken this down from the window over there, there was just like a huge mess. And I can't have that. Looking at the mess that it's made, it's too much. And you know what? Just to like really drive the point home that this plant is just too happy, this actually was attached to my window and I had to yank it out. Look at this. Here's an orb. Where's the other one? There's another one down over here. There's another orb right here. And another one. Here's another one. It's too happy. It's too happy. I cannot deal. It's too messy. It's gotta go. So I'm probably just gonna post this on Facebook, and at this point I'm ready to just give it away for free because I just don't want to deal with it. But yeah, that's spring cleaning for you. There's only a handful of plants that I had spruced up, and I think I'll just keep them in my care for the next couple of weeks just to ensure that they're acclimating to its new environment and then finding a new home. Thanks for joining in, and I think this is going to be like a series. There's lots more plants that I'm ready to spruce up and just let them go. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.